It is generally accepted in society that bodybuilding is one of the most dangerous sports. Because of the high-profile deaths of young athletes, it seems that it happens to almost every second person. In reality, however, bodybuilding as a source of mortality should be considered as an epigenetic cause. Such causes can include alcoholism, smoking, drug abuse, and an unhealthy lifestyle in general. It is no secret that many vehemently defend this sport from criticism. However, there is one fact that will be clear even to a person far removed from the sport. If a bodybuilder, like an obese person, carries an extra 50 to 200 pounds of weight, it is guaranteed to shorten the life of the cardiovascular system and other organs. No matter what you take or how much cardio you do, how early an athlete's lifespan ends depends on genetics and related epigenetic factors. Today, I've prepared for you the 10 most high-profile cases of bodybuilders dying before the age of 30. Almost all of them are related to heart attacks and strokes. Scott Klein was born on the 11th of February, 1973. In addition to muscle mass, he had a large amount of paraffin, an analog of synthol which, unlike synthol, remains in the muscles forever. In addition to steroids, his large mass and various stimulants, paraffin had a detrimental effect on his body. He finally died at the age of 30. He is said to have died in his sleep. The cause of death was kidney failure, which he had been suffering from for some time. While searching for information on forums, I came across people claiming to be his close friends or colleagues. They tried to make the same point from different angles. The athlete had a wild lifestyle, using cocaine and other substances. They said he was addicted to gamma-hydroxybutyric acid, also known as liquid ecstasy, which is used by partygoers. He reportedly spent so much money on drugs that he was forced to earn money by posing naked in front of wealthy people, including in hotel rooms and at private events. He could be paid up to $10,000 for a regular posing session. As you may have noticed, he posed for people of the same sex. It is easy to guess that the amount could have been higher for more in-depth services. Forums indicate that this was a common way of earning money among bodybuilders at the time, although it is rarely discussed in the media due to the behind-the-scenes nature of such processes. In Scott's case, we have a number of epigenetic factors that exacerbated what was already a poor cardiovascular system. The legendary Bostin Loyd was born in Los Angeles on 29th of March 1992. He began bodybuilding at a young age, following in the footsteps of his father, who was also passionate about the sport. His grandmother is still alive and works as a senior attorney for a private company. Lloyd became famous for being one of the first to start making videos on the internet in which he spoke honestly about the sport. He claimed that sports nutrition was a scam and demonstrated how to perform steroid and paraffin injections. He also detailed his drug regimes. His outspokenness led to much criticism of the IBB for their hypocrisy. The consequences of this approach were not long in coming. On 15th February 2022, Lloyd collapsed at home. He was rushed to hospital, but the doctors were unable to save his life. He was only 29 years old. It is reported that he had been on a continuous chemical regimen for about 10 years. Dave Palumbo later announced that the cause of death was an aortic dissection. In 2020, the 28-year-old athlete admitted to taking a peptide called idepatide, which caused his kidneys to fail and the disease to reach stage 5. Dave Palumbo explained that genetics also played a significant role in his demise. He explained that Bostin's father had an aortic aneurysm. Dan Pucket was born in 1985. This gifted athlete was the heavyweight winner of the 2006 NPC Teen and College National Bodybuilding Competition in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. He had previously won the heavyweight championship at the 2004 and 2005 Mississippi State Championships and the 2005 Southern Classic Tournament. Dan was a marketing major at the University of Alabama. On 7 November 2007, Dan's roommate in Tuscaloosa found him dead in the bathroom of their apartment. He had come home from the gym the day before, complaining of a possible muscle injury. An autopsy revealed that the cause of death was heart failure. Brett Michaels, born Robert Christopher Sager, was born on the 2nd of December 1977. At the age of 22, he entered the Arnold Classic bodybuilding competition in Ohio, where he was spotted by photographer Erwin Glapp. He went on to become a successful fitness model, appearing in major publications and working as a menswear model. His main activities were shooting same-sex adult films and individual off-camera work with clients. On 25th February 2007, Brad passed away in his sleep in Chicago. He had been complaining of an irregular heartbeat for several weeks. Family and friends reported that he had congenital heart failure, exacerbated by medication and alcoholism. Daniel Alexander was the 2017 Mr. USA middleweight champion and also won the 2014 California Championship. He was an up-and-coming athlete and began actively seeking media exposure. However, his second professional appearance did not materialize. According to reports, Alexander passed away on September 9, 2019, while preparing for the Legion Sports Fest. The IFBB Pro, who competed in the 212 pounds category, had great potential, but left us before reaching the age of 30. Robert Benavente was born on the 22nd of October, 1974. His competitive career began in 1994 in the NPC teen division. In 2003, he took first place in the Southern States competition. Despite his good physical attributes and potential, his cardiovascular system could not cope with the strain. Robert died of a heart attack in 2004 at the age of 30. There is no need to go into detail about the reasons. I think you already understand everything. Aziz Shavasan, known by the nickname Zyzz, died more than 10 years ago at the age of 21. There are still occasional online discussions and videos about the athlete. Although he was not a professional bodybuilder, he was the founder of the aesthetic movement and motivated many people to go to the gym. Several factors contributed to the athlete's early death: genetic predisposition, a congenital heart defect, and epigenetics, or lifestyle influences. Aziz was an active partygoer and used various substances. When a person has a congenital heart defect and an unhealthy lifestyle exacerbates the condition, it often leads to tragedy. This is exactly what happened to Aziz on the 5th of August 2011. He suffered a cardiac arrest in a sauna in Bangkok. A member of staff raised the alarm when he was found unconscious. Despite the efforts of the responding medical team, he could not be revived. An autopsy revealed that the cause of death was an undiagnosed heart condition, specifically an enlarged heart. A number of internet sources claim that Aziz had a congenital heart defect, but this has not been officially confirmed. Aziz's mother did not use the word congenital in her public statement, nor does it appear in the autopsy report. There were signs of health problems a few months before his death. According to his parents, Aziz had high blood pressure and shortness of breath. These symptoms are typical of an enlarged heart. If you want to know how a man on a brutal course of steroids can triple the size of his heart by the age of 26 and die of the legitimate consequences, sit back. Dallas McCarver is one of the most mentioned bodybuilders in my videos. The results of his autopsy were so shocking that I dedicated an entire video to him, which you'll see next week. In short, Dallas was an outstanding bodybuilder with good genetics who was quickly gaining traction on social media and posting impressive results. His first junior win at the age of 20 and his success at the prestigious Arnold Classic speak for themselves. But on 22nd August 2017, at the age of 26, he passed away. His body was discovered in an apartment, and the cause of death was initially listed as asphyxiation from food ingestion. The next day, an autopsy revealed several enlarged organs, some 3 times larger than normal, and that was at the age of 26. He was also found to have a number of diseases that are more common in older people and those with unhealthy lifestyles. Harmful substances were found in his blood, including caffeine and marijuana. The autopsy report stated that the heart attack was caused by marked left ventricular hypertrophy combined with predominant atherosclerosis. Exogenous use of steroids and other drugs also played a role, according to the doctor. McCarver reportedly had a family history of cardiovascular disease, including hypertension and atherosclerosis. Reading the full Dallas autopsy report is like reading a finished script for a horror film. Just a few months after McCarver's death, a seriously ill Luke Sandoe competed in California. The British bodybuilder had recently competed in the Arnold Classic Australia. His trainer, Chris Aceto, suggested that Sandoe start taking diuretics about a week before the show. The bodybuilder looked a little nervous, and a few days before the Arnold Classic, Acito sent Sandoe an email instructing him to take the diuretic aldactone every 12 hours and discussed the possibility of adding a second diuretic. Sandoe made it through the event in Australia, but vomited twice during the preliminary judging. A witness said he saw Sandoe breathing heavily and struggling to hold his poses. After checking his basic vitals, a fellow competitor advised him to go straight to hospital. When Sandoe was contacted a few days later, the bodybuilder replied, "Honestly, if I hadn't gone, I would have died." His potassium levels were exorbitant, and his dehydrated kidneys were virtually shutting down. On 30th May, Acito contacted his client. Quote, "I'm very sorry about the way things turned out last week." To which Sandoe replied, "We play with fire in this game, but sometimes things get burned." Sandoe died in May 2020, aged 32. The cardiologist noted in his report that Sandoe had an enlarged heart with acute left ventricular failure and hypertrophy. The main cause of his enlarged heart was probably bodybuilding, the report said. Sandoe's family said they did not know the full list of performance-enhancing drugs he was taking. However, emails record his conversations with Acito about insulin injections and buying growth hormones from an Austrian pharmacist who told Sandoe to delete all their emails. Chris Acito, a former bodybuilder with a bachelor's degree in fitness, has been in the industry for decades. When asked about his other former clients who also had health problems and died before the age of 50, including Cedric McMillan and Sean Roden, Acito remarked, "Footballers die too." That's it for today. Take care of yourself and thanks for watching.